Hi, my name is George Alvarez. I'm the CEO of VelaTel's Global Communications. I wanted to take this opportunity and update our shareholders with regard to our projects for the year of 2012. If you notice, back in February 28th, we sent a letter to our shareholders where we itemized certain projects and tasks as goals that we had in order to meet our financial objectives for 2012. So we're going to do video updates on each of these projects as we go throughout the months and compare it from one month to another. These updates are designed to keep you, the shareholder, informed with regard to the progress of the company, and we'll be putting them out on a monthly basis. So if we go back to the February 28, 2012 shareholder letter, there are some target dates and goals that we set as a company. So what I'm going to do over the next 5 minutes or so, or 10 minutes, is update you with regard to each of those goals that we've had and what the current status of each of our objectives are. So if we look at that letter in February 2012, we were trying to obtain approvals from MIIT in China, which is the Ministry of Telecommunications, basically, in order to install our fuel cell systems into telecom sites in China. I'm happy to say we reached that goal and we got MIIT approval for our fuel cell technology for VelaTel's, a company that we acquired in 2011. So let's start with VelaTel's because that was the first item in February 2012. We have increased our shareholder position from 51% to 75% with this company. If you look at our timeline that we've posted on the April newsletter, everything that I say today will reflect directly on that timeline. So in the lower right hand corner of that newsletter, you'll see VelaTel's projects and critical path timelines. We will update those every month in addition to updating those with these video chats that we'll have. So back to VelaTel's, if you look at our timeline for that, we increased our shareholder base or percentage to 75%. We did obtain MIIT approvals. We designed, engineered, manufactured the prototypes. We have delivered those to our clients and we have installed them, all as part of our objectives, let's say, for the month of February and March. So we're very pleased with that one. That one's on target. It's on track, and we, if you look at the critical path timeline for VelaTel's, you'll see that the testing period for the fuel cells goes all the way through July. And you'll see certain timelines there, and if you, I'll just go down it on line 22 of the critical path that says MIT approval. We accomplished that. Trial testing by China Mobile and China Telecom. We've installed those sites and are in testing. We expect the purchase order in July. We expect to manufacture the equipment August and September, and deliver that equipment at the end of October. So that's our timeline, and I'll update that on a monthly basis, as I said before. In March, one of our primary goals was to close the acquisition of Croatia and Montenegro. We've accomplished that goal. The company's name is Hurlong. Hurlong owns the networks in Croatia and Montenegro, and we're happy to say that we have accomplished that goal and forwarded the monies needed to expand and deploy those networks to the company. Associated with that is the equipment contract that was part of our acquisition of Hurlong. I'm happy to report also that that has been completed, and we expanded the network a little bit. We had a original purchase order in December. We've increased the equipment and the products associated with those markets, and signed that finance contract with our manufacturing partner ZTE last week. So we're very happy to report that. That's on target. We have great terms, same terms as we had in Peru, and we have great service contracts associated with the deployment of those networks also with ZTE. So if you look at the critical path timeline, I'm gonna keep trying to focus attention back to that. You'll notice that we did close the acquisition in March. That's been completed. The second line item there is finalized ZTE contracts. That's been completed. We actually completed that last week. Installation of equipment now is August and September. The optimization and testing is October and November, and we still expect to launch the network this year by December. So we're very happy that we've accomplished those goals with regard to these new acquisitions in the Balkan territories. Next on the list was Serbia. Serbia was a key acquisition target for us. We have not closed that acquisition yet. Primary purpose or reason why that has been delayed is due to the spectrum allocations that the target company is still obtaining from the government. So we're waiting for those technical allocations of spectrum for the country to be completed. That would allow us to go straight into a LTE deployment for that country, unlike Croatia, Montenegro, and our network in Peru, which is a dual WiMAX LTE protocol. So we're optimistic that we will complete that acquisition shortly. We do expect that this month, but it may bleed into June. We'll keep you updated on that. The terms of the acquisition, the basic contract is completed. Even the service contract and the equipment order with ZTE is been finalized and completed. We're just waiting for those country spectrum to be freed up by the government in order to conclude our acquisition. So we're still very optimistic, and they have a good foundation. They have about 18,000 subscribers, both with wireless and VoIP business, business to business, and business to commerce, or to consumers, I should say. And we expect that acquisition to highly complement the Croatia and Montenegro structure. Another goal that we had in March was to finalize another company, NGSN and CSC, finalize the corporate structure. Again, I'll go back down the list. Finalize NGSN corporate structure, finalize the service contracts. Another goal was to obtain the spectrum. I believe that was in the month of April. Order equipment, install equipment, optimize and test, and launch the network. That's pretty much the headings of each of the timeline critical paths. What I can say is we've completed the finalization of all corporate structures. We did that in March. We also completed the finalization of the service contracts, which were part of our partnership relationships with both NGSN and CASC. That has been completed, and now NGSN and CASC has applied to MIT for the additional spectrum required in order for us to launch the required projects and networks as per the contract. So currently we're waiting for government approval on that spectrum. We do expect that sometime in May. It again might bleed into June, but while we're doing this, we've already engineered and we've already created the projects that will be focusing for 2012. We're very excited about NGSN and CSC. These are direct relationships with the government via these companies, and the projects have been identified, and we'll be giving you updates on specific projects associated with our deployments over the next couple of videos that we do. Let's see, so that's pretty much the month of March. If you go through our newsletter, we've hit all those targets. In the month of April, it talked about the closing of the Serbia acquisition and obtaining the spectrum licenses for NGSN and CSC. As discussed earlier, those have been pushed into May and possibly even June in order to complete those items. So if you look at some of the other goals that we accomplished in the month of April, we also closed an acquisition of a company called Zapna. They're out of Denmark. We have released and made public that information, but I thought I'd tell you a little bit about them as to why they're important for us, and a key element with regard to our goals to deploy broadband networks and utilize our networks in addition to this type of technology to expand our subscriber base. Zapna offers a variety of products. One of their platforms is a voice over IP protocol that we intend on using in our markets in China, in Peru, and in Europe. This protocol is key to obtain business-to-business customers within our networks and in other countries that we don't have networks, but we'd like to participate with regard to obtaining revenues on the telecommunications side of our business. They also have a wireless roaming platform called Roam More. That's a great product that if you go onto their website, www.zapna.com, you'll see that product. Also another product called Zero Call. The goal with Zapna is to expand from Denmark to all of Western Europe and Eastern Europe. And you'll see monthly updates associated with this acquisition that enhances not only our financial performance, but our area coverages within the territories that we currently have working networks. So we're pleased to announce that acquisition and welcome them to our VelaTel family. That, I believe, was not on our original project tracker. It was an acquisition that we concluded in April, so we're going to add that to next month's critical path timelines and some of the different goals that we have with this company that I'll also update you on a monthly basis on. So we're going to add that to the timeline. If you look, I'm going to focus now a little more on the critical path timeline. We've talked about Croatia and Montenegro and some of those goals where we'll have the network launched by December. Serbia, if you notice, even though the timeline associated with concluding the contract and order the equipment, we still expect to expand and launch that network also by December. The spectrum allocations from the country is something that that we're waiting on, but we feel will be resolved where we can maintain that timeline. NGSN and CSC, you notice also that we expect to launch also by December with regard to the projects that have been identified, of which we're concluding with our partners and with our equipment supplier ZTE, so that we can also meet the December launch date for both those companies, NGSN and CSC. So as the months move along, we'll keep you updated. Even though some of the critical path things are concluded early, some are stretched out a little later, we always try to maintain the basic goal of launching these projects as we've described. So the next on the list on the timeline and critical path is Sino Crossings. With Sino Crossings, we have obtained the legal opinion from our partners associated with some of the requirements ZTE had in order to finance that project. We're awaiting final approval for that contract and in order to begin installing the equipment. Again, with Sino Crossing, in addition to NGSN and CASC, the three of those are really all combined. The fiber portion of those deployments are extremely important, so the timelines are the same with regard to launching those networks by December in time to maximize the revenues with each of the projects that we've identified for our partners. If you notice, we have concluded and submitted our financials for 2011. We will be putting in the financials for the first quarter of 2012. If we talk about some of the results of those financials, if you notice, we closed all the acquisitions in April of 2012, so the first quarter will really only reflect the wireless business as it's increasing in Peru. What I can tell you is that our Peru numbers are on target. When you combine our subscriber base year to date, we have approximately 4,389 subscribers between Croatia and Peru. Peru has grown a little over 30% in the month and a half that we've discussed, so we're very pleased with that growth. In addition to the current subscribers on the wireless networks and the VoIP networks, we have another 4,100 subscribers that we've obtained via the acquisition of Zapna. So our subscriber base is 8,489 as the foundation of the company continues to grow. Like I mentioned earlier, with the close of Serbia, we'll add approximately 18,000 more subscribers. NGSN and CASC will update that one with regard to the projects once we've identified the exact amounts of the purchase order and the target subscriber base. We'll make that another video now. So I think that's it for now. Again, we'll see you next month with another update. But please look at our newsletters and look at our critical path timelines. We will update those critical paths on a monthly basis and do these news videos also on a monthly basis. Thank you.